Hey guys, John O'Proudfoot here from Real Meal Revolution, and I wanted to share an insight that I got over the weekend with you. So I was shopping for the groceries for the family on the weekend, and I walked past a whole lot of different aisles, and I saw that there was a chocolate aisle where you could buy all of the sweets and chocolates that you could ever want. And then a few aisles down, I was walking there, and I saw you could buy protein supplements and all of these different healthy food products, mass gainers and fat burners and whatever. And in that aisle, they had all of these snack bars, which were supposedly healthy. And it never occurred to me to actually compare those bars with the chocolate bars and see, just how healthy they really are by our standards. So what I did is I went back and I bought a whole lot of these bars. So this is a photograph I took. And so what I thought I would give you is what I call the health bar face-off, to see whether the health bars that we look at or that we buy in South Africa are any different to the actual chocolate bars that we buy by our standards. Okay. So before I get into it, I just want to set the tone. And Coca-Cola, I think we all know, is like the benchmark for an unhealthy drink. Like if you were looking at currency and how rich different countries are, one of the things they use is this thing called the Big Mac index, because a McDonald's Big Mac burger gives you the price of a McDonald's Big Mac burger gives you an indication of how rich or poor a nation is. So in South Africa, it's a certain price. In Switzerland, I think a Big Mac is the most expensive place to buy a Big Mac, and by the McDonald's index or the Big Mac index, that means that Switzerland's the most expensive place to live. So if we were looking at sugar, we now look at Coca-Cola as the benchmark. So Coca-Cola has 10.6 grams of added sugar in it, or carbohydrates. So you can see there, sugar and carbohydrates, 10.6 grams. And so that is the benchmark. And I want to take you into this health bar discussion, having just had a brief look at Coca-Cola. So let's go. So those are all of the bars that we had: Mars, Snickers, Kit Kat, Energy, Rush, Snacker, All-in-One, Nature Valley, Banana, Future Life Light. And then it's very small, but that's the Jungle Oats bar. That's the Kellogg's granola bar. And then Kauai, which is a South African health restaurant chain. They've come out with their own line of products. And so what you'll see here, and if you can't see this on mobile, I'll read some of the numbers out to you. But Mars bar has 62 grams per 100 grams of sugar added to it. Snickers has 51 and Kit Kat has 49. So I suppose when you looked at that photograph of all of the different chocolate bars, you would have thought, actually, you know what, I bet that those three are going to be the highest. And so you would have been right when it comes to sugar content. Interestingly, the Kauai bar has only got 5 grams per 100 grams of added sugar, which by sugar standards is actually pretty good. The Kellogg's granola bar is also surprisingly low in sugar, and so same with the Jungle. But we're still looking at the Jungle bar is still the same sugar content as a Coca-Cola. So please just remember, same sugar content as Coca-Cola equals bad. Okay, just remember that the Mars bar has got 6 times the amount of sugar in it that a Coca-Cola bar has. But so then I thought, okay, well, we all know that added sugar is bad, but how does this compare to when we look at carb count? Are some of these products lower in sugar but still quite high in carbs? And so I took the carb content of each of these bars and then I redid this graph, and this is what I got. Oh, sorry. So what I also found quite interesting before we go into that is that the Energy bar, which is South Africa, or at least in South Africa, it's the oldest health bar or protein bar brand that I can remember. Rush is a very new one, and Rush is sold in most organic or health shops, and it's actually sitting on 39 grams of sugar per 100 grams, and it says no sugar or no added sugar on the bar, or something like that. But I know that the sugar they use is actually dates. So it's very important to remember that dates are actually really high in sugar. They're just a natural sugar, but sugar's sugar. And then Snacker and All-in-One. So all 4 of these are seen as health bars, but there's still more than 33 grams of sugar per 100 grams. Okay, Then I looked at carb count, and look what happened. Oh my goodness. So the all-in-one, which in the last slide was miles away, the all-in-one is now the highest product in carbohydrate. It has 71 grams of carbohydrates. Mars bar is second. Snickers is down at number 7 compared to the Kellogg's granola bar. So Kellogg's granola, they probably say only 10 grams of sugar, which it was on the previous slide, but they're still sitting at 64 grams per 100 grams of carbs. And remember that whether it's sugar or carbohydrate, when it goes into your bloodstream or when it goes into your gut, it gets broken down into glucose, and that's what actually ends up in your blood. So whether it's sugar or carbs, it doesn't make a difference. So the all-in-one is actually probably worse to eat than the Mars bar. And then right at the bottom of the table, we had Kauai, which was only 5 grams of sugar per 100 grams, but actually the Kauai bar has gone up to 27 grams of carbohydrates per 100 grams. That means that there is not a single product on that I looked at. In other words, not a single health bar that I could buy in one of South Africa's biggest retailers that is actually edible by the standards of Real Meal Revolution, or at least that fits onto the list. The only one that may get there is Future Life, because in terms of carbohydrate count, 20 grams per 100 grams is actually an orange listed item. That would be like all your carbs for the whole day, but it's still got 15 grams of added sugar, in which case we would say sugar's on the red list, so negative, you can't eat it. So in summary, I wanted to just go back and say, look, none of these bars can be eaten, and we also don't really encourage snacking. But I thought it'd be interesting for you to see, like, whether it's real or not, what the sugar content is. And I just want to go through quickly and throw in any of the other rules. So Mars bar, we know 100% can't eat, high in sugar, high in carbs, outrageous. The Rush bar is high in natural sugar, and it's gluten-free, but it's still a no-go because of its sugar and carb content. The all-in-one is a disgrace. They should take that off the shelves immediately. It's got muesli and honey and all this stuff, but it is bad, 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 bad. Snickers, not as bad as I thought, but pretty bad. Granola bar, low in sugar, high in carbs. The Snacker bar, terrible. And even if it was lower in carbs, it's got gluten in it, so you can't eat it. Jungle Oats are on the red list and cannot be eaten because they contain gluten, unless they are gluten-free, in which case they are light red. Kit Kat, negative. Shame. The Kauai collagen bar, sorry guys, but hard luck. The Bar Nana, also too high in carbs. Nature Valley, naturally unhealthy. And then Future Life, unfortunately, that's also too high in carbs. And Energy Bar, finally, too high in carbs and processed. So that is your introduction to the health bar aisle in the supermarket. So if you do need a snack, what to eat? Now, this sounds quite cruel, but to be honest, it's probably better not to snack at all. But if you do feel the need to snack, the best thing you can do to keep your blood sugar low and actually cure your hunger, because remember, if you eat sugar, sugar is going to make you hungrier. And if you want to eat something that's not going to make you hungrier, you want to have something that's low in sugar. So we would recommend some sparkling water, even with a squeeze of lemon and a little handful of nuts. If you're in South Africa, biltong. If you're in the States or somewhere else, some jerky or biltong if you've got that available. But don't go near the fake health bars. So I hope you found that useful. And yeah, I hope you keep it real. Have a lekker day. And if you want to download the lists, which I mentioned, they're in the link above or below. And if you want to watch a little video that I've done introducing you to the list, there's a link to that in this post as well. Thanks very much. And